Hi, welcome to the video. My name is Frank. I'm a car enthusiast based in New Zealand, and today I'm going to show you my S2000. So the S2000 has always been my dream car since my uni days, and I bought this vehicle last year. I was very lucky to find this in the marketplace for sale. When I first found it, it's only done about 20,000 kilometers, which is almost, you can say, brand new. So I was very lucky, and I just cannot pass up the opportunity to buy this vehicle. I've owned it for a year now, and it's been great. Everything when I bought it was stock, so basically it's almost like buying a new car, and I've been very happy since owning it. So it has been a great experience. So let's talk briefly about the exterior of the car. It's a very clean looking car, very simple and quite elegant, I would say. There's no over design or any unnecessary lines or creases on the bodywork. Twin exhaust tailpipes. And looks really good with the silver wheels and the black color. So they are in contrast of each other, which looks great in my opinion. I especially like the long bonnet of the car. It's amazing how the proportion works with the S2000. The bonnet is super long to house that front mid-engine layout. And I believe it's difficult to find a car like this in today's car design, because there are more strict pedestrian impact protection rules nowadays. So this kind of very long and low bonnet, I don't think can be replicated with the modern cars. So this is the engine bay of the S2000. Mine is a production year 2007. So it's an AP2. Basically, it has the revised 2.2 liter VTEC engine. Compared to the AP1, the AP2 doesn't have much more horsepower. I think horsepower is still the same, 237 horsepower, but they've made the torque a bit more. So the torque is about, I believe, 220 Newton meters. Because AP1 engine is sometimes criticized of the lack of torque. So they've revised this engine to make sure there are more torque throughout the rev range. So you can see that the engine actually sits behind the front axle. So effectively this is a front mid-engined vehicle. This is one thing I really like about the S2000 as well, because being a front mid-engine, the weight is pretty much centralized and just makes the handling and turnings much nicer. The feeling is much more neutral. Feels like the car actually pivots around you as a driver. Let me show you the interior. So again, because this car hasn't done much mileage, so the interior was kept almost like a brand new car, which I was so happy to find this car in this condition when I first bought it last year. As you can see, it's again very simply designed. The whole design is very simple and minimalistic. Everything is basically centralized towards the driver. Nothing extra or fancy to distract from the driver, the driving experience. So here are the radio controls and engine start. This is the air conditioning controls. It's very funny how they have a cover for the radio as well. So basically at night, when you're driving, if you close this up, the whole cabin is very, very dark. So only the dash and what's around the driver is lit up. So again, focused on the driver and driving experience. So let's turn the engine on and show you the dash. So to open the soft top, you have to unlatch. The handbrake has to be on, and just press this button. Very fast operation, folds down in about, altogether with the latches, about 10 seconds maybe. Okay, so we are in the car now. We'll drive around on a nice New Zealand back road, and we'll talk a bit about the driving impressions of this Honda S2000. When I first got the car, the first thing I really liked was the manual gearbox. It's very short throw, very accurate. The clutch pedal is very nicely weighted, and all the pedal placements are very spot on. So it's really easy to do heel and toe. So it's amazing. It's just a great manual gearbox to throw around, roll through your gears. I guess that's why a lot of people say this is one of the best manual gearboxes out there. So from the 1 year that I've owned this vehicle, the impression I have is it's a very fun car. Generally speaking, it's not a fast car. It doesn't have that much power. It's only got about 237 horsepower. But it's probably a good thing, because that means you can roll through the gears and rev it to the red line quite often without being over the speed limit. So it's just generally very fun, and the chassis is so good. You can throw it around on twisty roads. It's just a lot of fun driving this. The suspension is also very supple. rides over bumps and imperfections really well. So if you want to daily this or drive it often, you won't feel uncomfortable in this. It's quite amazing. The build quality is also quite nice, considering this is 15 years old already. Everything's quite solid. There's not much rattles or squeaks, things like that, and all the materials and everything feels nice as well. Very good cabin to be in. Is that the ratio, the gear ratio is quite short, so that helps a lot with the acceleration and sense of urgency, as long as you are in the right gear, because this engine doesn't have that much horsepower, so short gearing actually helps with the sense of speed, and also this gearbox actually pairs really well with the engine. So yeah, it's a very good combination, and together with the very sharp throttle response, because it's a naturally aspirated engine. So once you're in the right gear, even lower down, the throttle response is really good. Second thing is probably the weight of the car. It weighs about 1,300 kilograms, which is actually quite heavy considering it's got a soft top and the car is not very big. And you can feel the weight actually when you are transitioning through the corners, and also when you are accelerating and under braking, you can feel the weight. So I guess that's the second thing. The third thing would be the exhaust sound, I would say, because my car is fully stock, so the exhaust is also stock. There's not much exhaust sound, the stock exhaust. Most of the cabin noise comes from the engine, the induction noise. So I guess it's good and bad. Good in a way that if you wanna drive this, you know, in a civilized manner every day, it's actually generally quite quiet. But if you really step on it, there's not much exhaust sound. So yeah, it's good and bad. So thank you for watching the video. If you like it, please subscribe to help me kickstart this channel. I'll be showing you more videos of the S2000 and some of my other vehicles as well. So as conclusion, as I said, this car was pretty new when I got it. I was very lucky to find it, and I have enjoyed it for the past year. Basically maintenance free. It hasn't done much case, so everything is basically quite still working very well. I just done a simple oil and filter service just not long ago. Didn't cost much, and that's basically all I did since I got the car. Again, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.